Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. This is Tariq. Today our lecture topic that is elasticity. So let me generally discuss elasticity. In the demand analysis, we analyze only the increase in price and decrease in quantity demand. We study only about the direction in which variables change. There were deficiency in law of demand that how much quantity demand change is price change. In this section, we will learn how much quantity demanded change in percentages because of the percentage change in price of the commodity, because of percentage change in prices of the related goods and services, as well as because of the change in income in percentages. It's mean that elasticity actually I'm introducing that in this section we are going to cover a little deficiency of the demand and supply analysis. That in the demand analysis we one time study the law of demand, relationship between the price and quantity demand, that when the price of any particular commodity increase, quantity demand of the people for that commodity will decrease. We study, we explain these things. But this was the problem in that theory. There we only discuss that price increase, quantity demand decrease. Price decrease, quantity demand increase. Only we focus on the direction, on the relationship between the variables. Negative relationship. One is increasing, other is decreasing. But we did not calculate, we did not understand that when the price changed by $1, so how much quantity demand changed? When the price increased by 1%, how much in percentages quantity demand decreased? We did not study this, we did not mathematically calculate. So this is the problem in that demand analysis, in that theory, law of demand, that price increase, demand decrease, only direction we discuss, price increase and demand decrease. But in here, to cover that problem, economists introduced the concept of elasticity, and elasticity is that concept in which we will learn how to measure the change in quantity demand in percentages if the price of any particular commodity is changing in percentages. It means simply in here, elasticity concept tells us that how we can calculate the change in quantity demand because of the change in price. That is why I write the slides that there were deficiency, and now in here we are covering that deficiency, that how much demand is changing if the price of the particular commodity change, how much demand of one commodity is changing if the price of the related, substituted or complementary commodity change, or how much the quantity demand will change of any particular commodity if income level of the people change. In this section we will learn all about this, that elasticity calculate, estimate, measure that how much quantity demand will increase or decrease when the price decrease or increase by some percentages. Generally, I define the concept of elasticity, elasticity measure, elasticity estimate, elasticity compute, elasticity calculate the change in one variable y because of the change in other variable x. Its mean elasticity is that concept that relate the two variables, the effect of one variable on the other, that how many times y will change if the x one time change, how many times y will increase or decrease if x increase or decrease. So this is general definition of the elasticity, that elasticity calculate change in one variable y because of the change in other variable x. Price elasticity of quantity demanded. Our major topic is this, that price elasticity of quantity demand is, what is this? This means that how much quantity demand of any particular commodity will change when price of that particular commodity change by some percentages. price elasticity of quantity demand, we are using symbol PED. P represent price, E represent elasticity, and this small d represent quantity demanded. So PED we can use for this theory, price elasticity of quantity demanded. Price elasticity of quantity demand measure the percentage change in quantity demanded because of the percentage change in price of the particular commodity. As I told you that price elasticity of, why we call this price, because quantity demand is changing because of change in price. That is why accordingly we call price elasticity of demand. So price elasticity of demand measure, calculate the percentage change in quantity demand because of the percentage change in price. We are discussing the different types of the elasticity of quantity demanded. The very first type we call that elastic demand, and this is the sign of elastic demand mathematically if we are calculating, if we are measuring. E small ed represent elasticity of demand, price elasticity of demand. This sign of inequality, that is greater, is equal to 1. If the calculated elasticity is greater than 1, that demand is called elastic demand. How we can interpret, how we can analyze, how we can elaborate? When the percentage change in quantity demand is more than the percentage change in price of any particular commodity, that is called elastic demand. This is possible in closed substituted goods and services. For example, whiteboard and blackboard, both are closed substitutes. Wheat and rice, both are closed substitute. I'm sorry, comma is missing in here. Apple and mango, both are substitute. Solar system and electricity, substitutes. Honda car and Corolla car, substitutes. So when the percentage change, delta for change, Q for quantity, D for demand. When the percentage change in quantity demand is greater, this is sign of inequality, greater sign, then the percentage change in price, let price of the whiteboard increase by 1% and quantity demand decrease by 80%. This is called elastic demand. Its mean change in price is only 1%, but demand decreased by 80%. So demand is 80% decreasing if the price is 1% changing. This type of commodities, their demand is called elastic demand. Its mean elastic demand when there is a large change in quantity demand because of the small change in price of the particular commodity. As I told you, whiteboard, blackboard, wheat, rice, mango, apple, agriculture product, they have a close substitute. So if you are increasing the price, so you are losing the customer. Demand is very elastic. If you are increasing little the price, you are losing many customers because substitute for this commodity available. So this is possible in the closed substitute. So that is why this type of commodities and their demand, we call that is elastic demand. Now we are proceeding toward the inelastic demand. Again, this is the mathematical representation. ED, small e and small d represent price elasticity of demand, and this is the sign of inequality, less than 1. If we calculate mathematically, we measure mathematically elasticity of demand, we calculate less than 1, like 0.5, 0.7, 0.9. This is less than 1. So we are saying this is inelastic demand. When there is a small change in quantity demand because of a large change in price, this situation is called inelastic demand, and this is possible in basic necessities like food, electricity, medicine, telephone calls, etc., etc. Percentage change in quantity demand is less than percentage change in price. Price of the telephone call rise 100% and it double, but quantity demanded decrease only 10% because people do not have any other way. Inelastic demand, when there is a small change in the quantity demanded of any particular commodity because of a large change in price. This demand for this commodity is inelastic. Demand for such commodity is inelastic. And this is possible in the basic necessities when the people do not have any other way. For example, if the price of medicine increase, so still the people has to purchase. Demand will decrease, but at a very low rate. Suppose medicine bottle double price. Suppose call rate, the company, Etisalat company increased the per minute call 3 rupees to 6 rupees, 100% double, but still the people need mobile. Still the people need it. This is basic necessity. We cannot survive. For example, electricity. Electricity we are using in every line of business. That is very important. This is basic necessity. So if the per unit rate double, triple or 4 times increase, still the people demand electricity. So it's mean inelastic demand when the demand of any particular commodity very little change if the price of that particular commodity double, triple or 4 times change. This type of commodities and their demand is called inelastic demand. The third one, that is unit elastic demand. ED is equal to 1 when the percentage change in quantity demand is exactly equal to the percentage change in price. Percentage change in quantity demand is equal to the percentage change in price. Price 1% increase and demand 1% decrease, both are equal. So the commodities, such commodities demand is called elastic demand. Perfect inelastic demand. This is another type, but this is very rare case. In the real life, it does not happen. Perfect inelastic. When the quantity demanded does not change at all. Zero change in the quantity demand if the price doubled or tripled of any particular commodity. This is very rare case. Rare case mean not available. This is possible in the life-saving medicine. Perfectly inelastic demand, I put one example in here also. If the price of insulin doubled, still diabetic patient has to purchase and inject insulin to the body according to the requirements. Now let me elaborate. Perfect inelastic demand is the demand of the people for those commodities, those which are basic necessities. Individual doesn't have any other way. But this is very rare case. Usually it does not happen. That is why this is I write this is rare case. For example, any individual is a diabetic patient, diabetes, shakardara. Now he is injecting insulin to his body. His pancreas is not generating insulin. Pancreas is damaged. It's not working. And doctor prescribed him that you have to inject insulin to the body. Now daily he is injecting one dose. Now if the price of this dose double from 500 to 1000 or from 1000 to 2000, still he has to purchase insulin. If he is not purchasing, he is not injecting insulin to the body, so he will die. So it's mean perfect inelastic demand. If the price of such commodities 2 times, 3 times or 4 times increase, demand does not decrease. Demand will not reach to the, even there will be no change in demand, little no change, still you have to purchase. So demand for the commodities like this, that is called perfect inelastic demand. Perfect elastic demand, this is usually happen in the very closed substitute when there is a very small change in the price and quantity demand change by large. Means if two companies manufacture exactly identical products. Identical mean exactly same. Same features, same function, same warranty, same guarantee, same design, same packing, and one company is increasing the price 1%. So the company will lose 100% customers. No one will purchase from that company because the people know that the price of this commodity in another company is this. So when the price little 1% rise and quantity demanded fall to 0, or when the price 1% decrease and quantity demand increase to 100%, this is very rare case. This is possible in the perfect substituted goods and services. For example, Mr. Aslam and Mr. Tahir manufacture identical commodity. If Tahir will increase price little, no one will purchase from him. Quantity demand of his commodity will fall to zero. Again, I am repeating, this is very rare case. So perfect elastic demand in the identical commodities. If one individual is increasing little price, he will lose the customer 100%. Okay, now measurement of the elasticity of quantity demanded. In this section, we will learn how to measure, how to estimate, how to calculate, how to compute the percentage change in quantity demanded because of the percentage change in price, as we define price elasticity of demand. That price elasticity of demand is going to calculate the percentage change in quantity demanded because of the percentage change in price. Mathematically, I am doing this. I am calculating formula of the price elasticity of quantity demand P dot ED. Again, this represents this total price elasticity of quantity demanded. P for price, E for elasticity, and D for demand. Formula is this: PED is equal to percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. This is a sign of division. I am calculating the ratio of the percentage change in quantity demand because of the percentage change in price. Percentage change in quantity demand divided by the percentage change in price. Midpoint formula that we will use to compute this percentage change in quantity demand because of the percentage change in price. Price elasticity of the quantity demanded PED is equal to Q2 minus Q1 divided by Q2 plus Q1 multiplied. This is sign of multiplication. Sign of multiplication. P2 plus P1 divided by P2 minus P1. What are these variables? Price and quantity. Q2 is the second quantity when the price change. Q1 is the first quantity. P1 is the first price. Q1 is the first quantity. P2 is the second price. Q2 is the second quantity. Definitely, according to the law of demand, when price change, quantity demand of any particular commodity will change. That is why P1 and Q1 is one statement and P2 and Q2 is another situation. For example, if P1 price of the commodity first price, P1 mean first price, that is 3. So quantity first that people demanded, Q1 quantity demand first, that is 5. Now then P2, what happened to the price? Second price of the same commodity, price decreased to 2 from 3. So the second quantity demanded by the public, that is 10. When the price decreased from 3 to 2, demand increased from 5 to 10. Put all these values in the formula, midpoint formula. This formula we will compute the elasticity of demand. Price elasticity of quantity demanded PED is equal to Q2 minus Q1 over divided by over Q2 plus Q1 multiplied by P2 plus P1 over divided by P2 minus P1. Over and divided by same meaning. Now I am just putting the values. Is equal to second quantity is 10 minus first quantity demanded 5 divided by 10 plus 5 multiplied by first price, second price is 2, price decrease. First price were 3 and now 2 minus 3. So when we calculate 10 minus 5, 5 divided by 10 plus 5, 15 multiplied by 2 plus 3, 5 and 2 minus 3 minus 1. When we further elaborate, 5 divided by 15, 1 over 3 multiplied by 5 over minus 1. So 5 divided by minus 3 and we calculate the price elasticity of demand here. 5 divide 5 by minus 3. This is not visible here because here is the recording, the software that cover this area. So the only step is this: you will take the calculator and you will divide this 5 by this minus 3. So you will find out the result. The result must be negative. Now note, eliminate the negative sign by taking absolute value of the price elasticity of quantity demanded. As we compute in the previous lecture, price elasticity of demand 5 divided by minus 3, the result is actually negative. That is why negative means negative only show the negative relationship between the price and quantity demanded. Negative sign doesn't mean that we calculate negative elasticity. Elasticity must be positive. So that is why to eliminate this issue, I write here in the slide that eliminate negative sign by taking absolute value of the price elasticity of demand, where negative sign show negative relationship between the price of the commodity and quantity demanded of that particular commodity, as this is here. PED is equal to 5 divided by minus 3 give us minus 1.666. When I put the absolute values symbol, double vertical line, so we change the negative to positive, and now the calculated elasticity is 1.66. This is greater than 1. When calculated measure elasticity is greater than 1, demand is elastic. The percentage change in quantity demand is more than the percentage change in price. When demand is elastic, this is good for the producer to reduce the price. When the price will decrease, demand will increase. Price little change, demand change more, sale will be more, and revenue of the company will increase. So this is the practical importance of the calculation, the measurement of the price elasticity of demand, that if calculated elasticity is greater than 1, so this is best for the business to decrease price and increase revenue. Now cross price elasticity of quantity demanded. Cross price elasticity. Cross mean in here we have two types of commodities, but both commodities are maybe substituted or maybe complementary. In this section, we will learn the percentage change in quantity demanded of one commodity because of the percentage change in price of the other related goods and services like substituted goods and complementary goods and services. In a cross price elasticity of quantity demanded tells us that how much the quantity demand of one particular commodity will change if the price of other related or complementary substituted or complementary goods price change. Yani cross price elasticity of demand tells us that how much the quantity demand of any particular commodity will change because of the change in price of other related goods and services. We are putting one example, change in the quantity demanded of Honda Civic car because of the change in price of the Toyota Corolla XLI. It's mean if the Corolla XLI price is changing, so what is happening to the quantity demand of Honda Civic car, because both are substituted commodities, substituted goods. So cross price elasticity of demand, C for cross, P for price, ED for the elasticity demand, the same midpoint formula Q2 minus Q1 over Q2 plus Q1 multiplied by, this is sign of multiplication P2 plus P1 divided by P2 minus P1. For example, the first price of the Corolla, that is 10 lakh, and the quantity demand of the Civic at that time, that is 100 units. Now the second price of the Corolla car P2, that is 13 lakh. It's mean Corolla car get expensive, the price of Corolla increase. So as the price of Corolla increase, the second quantity demand of the Honda Civic, that is 105. Put these values in the formula, midpoint formula, and calculate that demand for this commodity is elastic or inelastic. To be continued. Cross price elasticity of quantity demanded, C for cross, P for price, ED for elasticity of demand is equal to Q2 minus Q1 over divided by Q2 plus Q1 multiplied by sign of multiplication P2 plus P1 divided by P2 minus P1. I am putting the values in this formula again, C for cross, P for price, ED for elasticity. Second quantity is 105 minus first quantity demand 100 divided by 105 plus 100 multiplied by sign of multiplication. The second price is 13 lakh plus the first price is 10 lakh divided by 13 minus 10 lakh. And when we manipulate 105 minus 100 equal to 5 and 105 plus 100 205 multiplied by 13 lakhs plus 10 lakhs 23 lakhs and divided by 13 lakhs minus 10 lakhs is equal to 3 lakhs. When we calculate, we find out 0.18699. It's mean the calculated elasticity is less than 1. 0.18 is less than 1. So demand for Honda Civic, that is inelastic. It's mean the people of Afghans, they do not like Honda. If the price of Toyota Corolla is increasing, still the people are not demanding Honda, still people are demanding Corolla. So this is best for the Corolla company. They can increase the revenue by increasing price. This is the practical importance of the concept of elasticity of demand that we calculate. Calculated crash price elasticity is 0.18 and 0.18 is less than 1, and when this is less than 1, this is called inelastic demand. It's mean the people of Afghanistan, they do not like Honda. Corolla company can increase the price. They will not lose the customer. Demand for Honda Civic will not increase. Demand of the Honda Civic is inelastic. So this is best for the company. The company can increase the revenue by charging high price because the people do not like Honda. There is no problem for the company. So this is interpretation. Elasticity of demand is less than 1. According to this calculation and given information, demand of the Honda car is inelastic. People does not like Honda cars in Afghanistan. The next one, that is income elasticity of quantity demanded. Income elasticity of quantity demand, I for income, ED for elasticity of demand. In this section, we will learn the percentage change in quantity demanded of a particular commodity because of the percentage change in income of the individual. Because quantity demand depends on income also, using same midpoint formula where I stands for income. Income elasticity of quantity demanded, IED. Again I am repeating, I for income, ED for the elasticity of demand. Q2 minus Q1 divided by Q2 plus Q1 multiplied by I2 plus I1 divided by I2 minus I1. It's mean I represent income. I represent income. So we put the values. First income 100, first quantity demand 10, second income I2 200, second quantity demand 20. Put all these values in the formula. We have income elasticity of demand. When we put the values, 20 minus 10 divided by 20 plus 10 multiplied by 200 plus 100 divided by 200 minus 100. Now income elasticity of demand, 10 divided by 30 multiplied by 300 divided by 100. When we manipulate the calculated elasticity of demand, that is 1. So this is actually unit elastic demand. It's mean the percentage change in quantity demand exactly equal to the percentage change in price. The practical importance of the elasticity of demand, progressive taxation. It's mean when the government is planning to increase or decrease the tax rate on any particular commodity, the government keep in mind, consider the concept of elasticity of demand. If the demand for any commodity is very elastic, so then the government has to increase tax rate on those goods and services. Decrease tax rate on those goods and services because demand is very elastic. If the government is increasing tax on the elastic demand, so the company will increase the price also. When the company increase the price also, demand is very elastic, the company will lose 100% customers. So from where the company will pay tax revenue to the state? So it's mean the government keep in mind while changing tax rate that if demand for a particular commodity is elastic, then the government has to reduce tax. When the government will reduce tax, price of the commodity will decrease, so the quantity demand will increase. When the company will sell out more and more goods and services of that particular, when the company will sell out more commodities, so the company will pay more tax revenue to the state. But if demand of any particular commodity is inelastic, The people do not have any other way, like petroleum. So the government has this power to increase the tax on such commodities. Demand for these commodities is inelastic, like mobile phone, like oil, like electricity. The people do not have any other way. Demand is inelastic. So the government can increase tax because the people still has to purchase. If the price is increasing, still the people are demanding. This is inelastic demand, price double, still we are purchasing, that is basic necessity, we do not have any other way. So it's mean the revenue of the state will increase because the people do not have any other way. Demand of the commodity is inelastic. If the price double or triple, still we have to purchase and the company has to pay more and more taxes to the state. So when the government is increasing or decreasing the tax rate, the government consider the concept of elasticity of demand. Price determination. This is another importance of this concept. Businesses determine price of a commodity considering price elasticity of quantity demanded. If demand is inelastic, businesses will increase price to increase revenue because people does not have any other option. People have to purchase even at high price. So businessmen define price for any particular commodity considering the elasticity of demand. Suppose commodity is basic necessity, so businessmen know that people do not have any other solution, no substitutes. So that is why they will not lose the customer if they increase the price even. So it's mean that demand is inelastic. This is good for the businesses to increase the price. When they will increase the price, still the public has to purchase because the public do not have any other way. So increasing or decreasing the price of a particular commodity, businessmen consider the elasticity and inelasticity of demand of those commodities. Businesses determine price of a commodity considering price elasticity of quantity demand. If demand is inelastic, businesses will increase price to increase revenue because we do not have any other option. So the concept of elasticity businesses use in the price determination to increase the price of a commodity or to decrease. If demand is elastic, so this is good for the businesses to reduce the price. When the price 1% decrease, demand will 80-50% increase. The company can sell out more. So it's mean for the elastic demand commodities, company will reduce the price, but for the inelastic commodities, company can increase the price to increase revenue. For example, oil. Oil demand, electricity demand, food item, medicine, these are basic necessities. Their demand is inelastic. If the oil price increase, still the countries has to purchase because oil we are using in every line of business. So that is why businesses know that demand for this particular commodity is inelastic, means if we increase the price, still customer will not we will not lose the customer. So that is why we are increase the price to increase the revenue more and more. Price elasticity of quantity demanded and tax revenue. If demand is inelastic, elasticity of demand calculated is less than 1, producer will increase price to increase revenue. Interpretation: price double but quantity demand fall little because demand is inelastic and revenue rise to 1800 as this is given in the table. Again I make a small table. These are the prices of a particular commodity, these are the quantity demanded, and this is the total revenue. When the price of the commodity is 10, at that time people are demanding 100 units, and 10 multiplied by 100, price multiplied by quantity, the revenue of the businessman, that is 1000. But the commodity demand is inelastic. Now the businessman know that if I am increasing the price even 100%, I will not lose that much customers. Like oil industry know that oil the people use, the countries use in every line of business. So that is why they are further increase the oil prices, and still we are demanding. So it's mean if the oil price 100% increased from 10 to 20, but the customer decreased only by 10%. So 10 customer decrease. First was the 100 demand at 10 price and now 90. So it's mean we need it. We do not have any other way. So that is why the revenue increased from 1000 to 1800 when the demand is inelastic. This is good for the businesses to increase the price and earn more. Why? Because the public do not have any other option. The people has to purchase even at high price. Though the demand will decrease, because this is the law of demand. When the price increase, demand decrease. This is the law, but not that much. It will the price will change more and demand will change less. If demand is elastic demand, ED greater than 1, producer will reduce price to increase the quantity demanded and increase revenue, as this is given in the table. Price is 10, quantity demand 100, total revenue is 1000. Price decreased only by $2, but demand decreased round about 100%, 80% demand decrease. Percentage change in quantity demand is more than the percentage change in price. So demand is changing, jumping high. If the company increase price little, so this is better for the company to increase the revenue. Demand of the commodity is elastic. So when the demand is elastic, company has to reduce the price and earn more and more.